We bring in our longtime friend Mike Morreale, the commissioner of the Loop. And Mike, nice to see you smiling. It's almost here, my man. Teams are practicing. We're ready. How you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better than I did for the last 16 months. So that's good. I'm excited about just the fact that, we're able to bounce some basketballs again and get players back on the court. Some of our teams are already into day 2 or 3 of training camp. Sask is just around the corner, and it's exciting times now.
Yeah, I saw that. The Blackjacks are a few days in because they've had their media day and everything, and it's so exciting. I don't even know where to go from here other than, can you just tell me what the last couple of months have been like for you, Mike? Because I know you delayed the start of the season by 3 weeks, and then you didn't know what the crowds were going to be. You haven't really announced what it is yet. So you sitting on some announcements here or what?
Well, I think, we're in a pretty good position now, certainly in Alberta and Saskatchewan, that the thought of fans in the building is a realistic one. And if you look at some of the reopening plans in both provinces, as July hits, things open up, and in some cases open wide up. So what does that mean to fans in the building, their comfort level? That's something we're working on now. I'm happy to say we'll be the first league to welcome back fans in this country. I know in some cases there's been healthcare workers, and in Montreal, of course, there's been fans for hockey. But as a Canadian domestic league, it's something we're really proud of and really working towards. Ontario, I think it's highly unlikely, maybe towards the end of our season, but probably beyond it. And in BC, we can hold out hope. But just getting back to play and getting into our market, something that we were told for the last, since we finished our summer series that we couldn't do. We just don't like to take no for an answer. We believed in the vaccinations. We believed in this country coming together to get them and to help move us forward to returning to play.
Mike, a lot of questions coming in from viewers here. And for those that just tuned in, Mike Morreale, the commissioner of the Canadian Elite Basketball League, is with us. I was just going to read a couple of comments here. Jeff Scoggins says, "Hey, Rod, greetings from Dallas, Texas." Dean Tick says he's in Green Bay. U.S. Open at Torrey Pines starts today. So, yeah, just everybody. It's a great time in sports. From Daryl in Toronto, for Mike, why did you decide to keep the Elam Ending as a permanent staple of the CEBL? Because we saw it last year in the summer series. And Mike, I'm dumb. I'm just a dumb hayseed hick farm kid. I can't get my head around the Elam Ending. Can you dumb it down for a guy like me?
I could certainly do that. So the Elam Ending is also known as the target score. It's been used in the last 2 NBA All-Star games. Most people remember it from the celebration of Kobe's life, where they added 24 points to the leading team going into the fourth quarter. That's the Elam Ending, and you can modify it as you like. So what it does is, in our case, at the 4-minute mark of the final quarter, the clock shuts off. Whatever the score is at that particular point, let's say it's 80 to 82, we add 9 points to the leading score. So the target score now becomes 91, and both teams chase the target score. There is no clock to hold you back other than, of course, the 24-second shot clock. And everything else is back to basics. Next bucket wins. Every game finishes on a winning bucket. Every game finishes with a ton of excitement. And you don't get that bogged down last quarter where 2 minutes literally takes 30 minutes in the NBA and the NCAA, et cetera. The team that's trailing just fouls away and hopes to get people to the line to hopefully get back possession of the ball. And really, it's cheating the system. It's breaking the basketball rules to try and get back in a game. Well, the Elam kind of eliminates that, and it's all been done through Dr. Nick Elam, who's a member of Mensa and a lot smarter than me when it comes to data and numbers. So even from our summer series, he evaluated every single game, compared them to about 4,000 or 5,000 games he has on record, and then the data pours out. Time of possession, chances of the losing team coming back, what the actual time elapses versus what it would elapse in an NCAA or an NBA game, and you just can't beat the data. This is a game that in sport survives on data. The beauty of it, when we welcome fans back, is that it's a thrilling way to do it. It's very exciting. It's very wide open. It's very fast paced, and you got to be prepared for it.
So timing was the biggest reason to fit in a window? Was it timing?
It was a better way to finish a game. Timing certainly has a lot to do with it because people, as you know, their attention spans are short and getting shorter. So we play a FIBA game because you're in and out in 2 hours. And that's important to the way that we structure our games in the entertainment package.
Yeah, no kidding. So this is what interviews like this do, Mike. William May is watching in Lloydminster. He says, CEBL, I guess I'll have to find a team like the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Well, I don't know. Look at a map, Mike. Lloyd's right between Edmonton and Saskatoon. So you could do Edmonton Stingers, the defending champions, but I would suggest the Saskatchewan Rattlers because they have the nicest gear in the entire league. Donald Mitchell is watching and says, so what the CEBL has done with streaming in conjunction with CBC has made the CFL TSN deal absolutely Byzantine in comparison. Well, again, that's a $20 word that I don't understand, so we won't compare that to CFL TSN. But CBC, it's gargantuan for you, Mike. Gargantuan, I would think, what it means for your league.
Yeah, CBC was a partner that was really and is very important to us because they provide free access to basically every TV set across the country. And it's our way to establish our brand and showcase our brand and not have to make people pay for it. We want to showcase what we do. We'll monetize our brand in other ways and over time, but we want to be accessible. It's an Olympic sport for CBC. It's a sport that is, in popularity amongst teenagers, the fastest growing and the coolest and the first among immigrants. And this country is shaped by multiculturalism and immigration, and that continues to grow. So CBC provides us with linear broadcasts, TV broadcasts, apps or games through their app, CBC Gem, through cbcsports.ca. And we do international deals with CBC's blessing across the entire world. And we just launched our own media and content platform called CBL Plus. And again, it will be free in Canada because we feel it's important that people can experience the type of game we play. And the type of game we play is unbelievable. It's the best basketball outside of the Raptors without a question. All our players are professional. All of them have either played in the NBA, in the G League, at major college programs north and south of the border, as well as huge big-time programs in European basketball. And if you look at the world rankings for basketball, the majority of the world rankings are with teams that have strong, or leagues that have strong, countries that have strong domestic leagues. And, this is what the CEBL will continue to do for basketball in this country.
Andrew Nielsen watching on Facebook says CEBL is a great product going to grow even more. And it is. And Mike, you've always been, your enthusiasm's infectious, but I just feel it off of you. And I just wonder how you guys in this tough time have been able to grow. Just getting onto the court last year was amazing in St. Catharines, and it was awesome. And now this year you're back for year 3. How have you stayed alive and grown in a time where most leagues have not been able to?
Perseverance, togetherness, I think goal setting. I can throw out all those buzzwords. We just have no fear of failure. So if we're going to put our mind to it, we're going to do everything we can to knock down those obstacles in our way. And that's why we were the first league in the entire country to return to play last year. And I've said I didn't want to be the first. We just happened to be. And we'll be the first league in the entire country to welcome back fans in some way, shape, or form. And the first league probably to play in most markets back-to-back seasons without fans. So what we're doing is just hard work. It's the commitment to doing it together. We got the buy-in from our players and our coaches and our executives and our front offices across the league. And we didn't predicate any of this on fans in the stands. What's important to us is getting our players and coaches and support staff on a court to continue to grow this league and to continue to celebrate Canadian basketball. And we are, growing on a daily basis. The game is growing monumentally across the country. And if the Team Canada, men's or women's, are able to medal coming up this summer, that could be just another launching point for this league and for basketball in general.
Bruce Simpson's watching in Edmonton, says great people working in the CEBL, true pros. There's no doubt about that. Mike, since I have you, is there a ratio in the CEBL? Somebody asked me that recently, and I didn't know the answer to it.
Absolutely. Very proudly Canadian. We mandate 70% of our rosters are Canadian. We actually play north of 80%. So the talent level, Canadian versus American versus international, is inconsequential. It's the same. We have dynamic talent everywhere. the players that play in our league play under major contracts all over the world and come back at a downtime in their FIBA schedules to play with us. And they don't take plays off. They don't take games off. They're all ready to make the next step in their pro careers, and they leave us to join the same team or another team overseas, and then they come back again. So we found a destination to showcase these top players that have left us, from NCAA to Canadian college to overseas. We never see them again. We're bringing them back home and celebrating them. And at the same time, we're utilizing the U Sports system to help grow the next pathway for the grassroots level beneath it. So it is a ecosystem that we work within, and it's all headed up by Canada Basketball, and we're all looking at the same common goal, which is growing the game.
I'm going to ask you one more question before I let you go. Chris Bird's watching in Toronto. He says, Mike, there's another Canadian-based basketball league out there. Do you see any cooperation or collaboration in the future?
Well, we really exist at two different times. They play in the typical winter season. They play completely different rules. They're not affiliated with Canada Basketball. We are the official league of this country. We're proud of it. Our mandate is very different than theirs. So have we spoken? Yes, of course. But we're on a trajectory and a path that we have blazed. And I'm not sure it makes sense to work together. I don't think at this particular time it does. We wish them all the best. And truthfully, having a winter league and a spring and summer league allows for more basketball to be played and more opportunities for players. So the way it is right now is fine by us. We don't overlap or really interact in any sort of negative way. And we all serve the same purpose, which is providing opportunities.
Another one. Adam Wagner, watching in Halifax, says, Mike, what's the chance of a team coming out this way?
I think there's a good chance. I think if you look at the trajectory we are on, we're going to Montreal in 2022. We are going to be another team announced in 2022, so we'll be at 9 for sure, potentially 10. But if it is 9, we will be moving to 14 to 16 teams in the next 3 to 5 years. And that includes places out east. It includes Quebec City, it includes Winnipeg, it includes Calgary, it includes another team in the Vancouver area and another team in the GTA. So we certainly have a plan in place, and we already have a Rolodex of people behind all of those opportunities that want to see it happen. So we'll just continue to work hard. I don't think we can ever sit back and think what we're doing is great and fantastic. You can't work hard at it. We're just going to continue to work hard, continue to improve. And I think what you'll see in addition to our domestic expansion and what's maybe missing here domestically, and it may just be the Canadian thing of how we handle our sports and everything that's Canadian, is we're probably more recognized internationally as a basketball league than we are domestically. So that will change, but we're going to continue to grow our international side because that's going to take us all over the world, representing this country under the CEBL or team banners. And those are things we'll unveil in the somewhat near future, and some really exciting growth opportunities for our league.
With I think the one viewer that said earlier that it's a great product really nailed it. It's an awesome product. You guys are smart guys. All you got to do is just get it out in front of people, which is what you're doing. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, I propose the Calgary Towers for a team name. Hey, that's cool. I like it. Let's get a team there and let's get rolling. I should just mention, I watched the documentary on the CBC a Saturday afternoon a few weeks ago. What they call it, Our Game. That was pretty cool, Mike. The bubble story. Yep. It was like the NBA in Canada. I thought it was cool. What'd you think?
Yep. I was really happy to showcase the behind the scenes, and we left people out. I mean, there's so many people that are part of what we do. It's hard to condense, 26 to 40 days over 90 minutes. But I think Ward One, who put it together, did a fantastic job along with our people here. And it's a peeling back of the curtains to say, hey, we got some really good stuff going on here too, and you should take notice because it's important. It's a part of the fabric of the communities we play in. We want to engage with those communities, and one of the very big reasons we wanted to go back to playing in our home markets this year. And we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to grow, and you will hear of us, whether we force feed it to you or just as we continue to grow. Good things tend to happen when you've got a good plan in place.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're covering the CEBL in our sports updates and talking about it every single day, Mike. So I appreciate the time today. I'll be looking for you at SaskTel Center, and good luck with tip-off here.
Well, thanks, guys. Rod, you've been a great supporter of everything that I've had my hands in. So thank you very much, and best of luck. We'll talk to you soon.
Bet. Thanks, Commish. Mike Morreale joining us from his home office.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.